Shout out to Killcliff. Thank you for these. They're keeping me going. CBD drinks, delicious. I'll bring you some next time I see you. Hopefully at PCW Ultra. But cheers, Killcliff. Thank you. What's up, everyone? Welcome to the RRBG podcast. I'm here with Josef Samael. How are you, brother?
I'm great, man. How you doing?
Doing good. Excited that we'll get to see you work soon. We got MLW coming back. We got PCW Ultra finally coming back. All systems go. Tell me a little bit about what you've been doing during the break. I mean, a lot of people, we're trying to do shows here and there, but honestly, doing shows with no audience is no fun. So what have you been up to?
Yeah, I've been plotting, trying to figure out what's the next move, looking at all the mandates, looking at, what it's going to take to perform shows. But like you said, we don't want to do shows without crowds. Wrestling is just way too sterile without a live crowd. It's just real weird. We feed off the people. So that wasn't ever an option for me. I didn't ever want to do it that way. So now that we're able to, open this back up, albeit semi-capacity, we're still going to move forward and try to put on the best show possible for our loyal fan base and over-deliver like we always do.
Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. How long ago was the last one? I don't even know anymore. Time has become a blur.
Yeah, well, I believe the last show we did was our anniversary show. And that was January of 2020.
Jeez.
Yeah,
that was right before the close up.
And then we were going to do a show in March, and we had to cancel it. Yeah, we had to cancel it because of all the lockdowns. And then so we were a little hesitant to come back. So I decided, well, October's far enough away. And then now we're starting to, but it looks like the numbers are going down and stuff like that. And everybody's pretty used to living with this now. And, we're just gonna live and move forward and do what we do. We can't just stay on pause forever.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. I was super hesitant to get back into it. I mean, I went to my first live concert not too long ago, and it was weird when the mosh pit broke out. I was standing up front and center, and it was like everybody was kind of spread out. So I'm like, oh, this is fine. And then the pit broke out, and I'm like, oh wait, I don't know if I'm ready for this. Yeah. And I just backed away a little bit.
Yeah, me and my wife love to travel to see Clutch. It's our favorite band in the world, and they just started touring again, and we're just like, oh, it just sucks being able to go out there and stuff. And I guess we could do it, and it wouldn't be that big of a deal. But it's just having a mask on that 6-hour flight if you're going across country, and it's like I'm just gonna keep it cool for a little bit longer. And when I'm able to blow it out and go to other countries and do all that stuff, it'll be more gratifying when it's finally able to happen for me.
Yeah, man. I mean, I want to talk about so many different things that you just mentioned. So, yes, the mask thing on a flight sounds like a nightmare. Like I've been wanting to go see family and stuff since we're able to actually fly now, and still, my family is on the East Coast, so that's a 6-hour flight. So it's like, oh God, I don't know.
Seems like being over here on the West Coast, like anything I want to do is always just a long flight. It's I like living out here. I've been here for about 10 years now. I like living out here. I really do, but man, it's rough when it comes to travel. It's just so rough. Every time I go to any show, it's always, Philly, New York, Florida. It's like, oh God, just barely.
Yeah. My family's out. Well, I have family in North Carolina, but also Florida. And, also seeing how crazy Florida is, where like to them, there was no pandemic.
It just didn't.
So, they're like, nah, we're good. Mm-hmm. So, trying to go to Florida is just kind of also very iffy for me, but
sure.
I want to talk to you more about Clutch because I know you have an extensive collection. So I want to go through that.
Yeah. But if you mean extensive by meaning everything they've ever put out, yeah. I don't fanboy out for anything, but like Clutch is like the greatest band in the world to me.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, they're great. They're great. They're always a fun time, and that's something that I think is synonymous with what you put out product wise. Your PCW is always a fun time, even though you are an evil man that's
yes,
plotting to destroy the world, but still the shows that you put on are always meant to be a good time. So, how did you survive financially? Because I mean, you don't have to go into specifics, but if you're not putting on shows, there's no income. So,
right.
How was it that you guys managed to stay afloat? I know that you yourself, were doing a bunch of side hustles with music itself, with records and whatnot.
Sure.
So,
well, yeah, I mean, I kept money coming in through different. I'm real diverse. Like I try to make, even if it's a little bit out of every all types of different places, but to be quite honest, a lot of people just never have foresight in this business. The entertainment business is, you could sit at home for a year without a pandemic, so you always have to be ready. So, I'm not cheap or anything like that, but I'm super frugal and I'm smart with my money. And I've always been, cognizant of the fact that I could get injured. I could, so I've always been pretty smart when it came to saving. So yeah, just, a little money here and there, but, I didn't miss any meals. The electric didn't go off and everything was pretty cool. The fact that I was home alone with my wife for almost 2 years, cooking dinner at home, was pretty awesome. I mean, I really actually, it was probably the first time in over 20 years that I've been just stop, and my mind stopped and everything. And it's kind of awesome. As far as that goes, I'm not saying the pandemic was awesome. You feel me?
Right. But
I mean, we got the beach like right around the corner. So like just to walk over there in the nice air and hang out. And there wasn't anybody on the beach, and, just to ride bikes around, hang out, cook at home. It was just pretty cool. But as far as the money goes, man, I think money's just like an illusion. It's always there. If you just worry about it all the time, you just feed into that, man. If you just don't worry about it, it seems to just always come in one door, out another. It's always, I don't tend to give it that much power, but we didn't want for anything. We were cool.
That's good. Good. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah.
It's important to, keep an eye on it just so that, you don't wake up one day and like, oh shit, there's no power.
Yeah. I mean, I'm cognizant of what's what. It's just, it's not my be all end all, and happiness lies in the freedom and just having good relationship and all that, whatever, blah, 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 all that new age bullshit. But, we were fine. That's the short answer. We were fine. And we're grateful that we were fine,
Yeah, I know, and you're blessed to have a good relationship with your wife. That this was a big test for a lot of people. I think to be home all the time with your significant other, if you have one. Thankfully, I was on the same boat. Like my wife and I I thought, I figured 6 months in, I'm going to lose my mind. I'm going to want to because I spent a lot of time out. It's not it's not a say on her or anything, but it's more of me because I was always out at shows or concerts or wrestling shows,
Dude, same exact lifestyle right here. Yeah.
So I figured, I'm like 6 months in, if I don't go out, I'm going to lose it. But no, it was great. It's been great, being around, and it's a real test to the relationship. So that's good.
Sure. I would imagine there was a lot of babies made and a lot of divorces.
Oh, yeah. A lot of divorces and a lot of babies. Like either one.
Sure. Yeah.
So that's good, man. And I'm glad that, financially, like you said, you were able to pull through. A lot of people, this was very tough, but also like for me personally, I've never had more money because I'm saving parking money. Right? I'm saving going out and spending a ton of money on drinks and whatever,
If you have a lifestyle like we do, there was a lot of money that didn't go out the door. You know what I mean? Yeah. So you realize how much you do spend just by getting by when you're on the road all the time. Even if you're being frugal about it. Mm-hmm. So that was pretty eye opening.
Yeah. Yeah. Going back a little bit to PCW, I'm looking at the lineup here. As usual with PCW Ultra, you guys are bringing in a legend So you've got Ron Simmons coming in. You've got JTG versus Madison. You've got Finau versus Manders. You've got the four-man. Tell me about this tournament, the four-man thing.
So basically, we vacated our ultralight championship, and our champion retired. So tournaments are kind of weird, especially when you're doing indie shows. They're house shows, so like if you got new fans, getting them to follow it and whatnot. If it lasts multiple shows, getting them to stay vested in it is a bit difficult. So it was just something I said, let me just create an innovative match with some matches that, people know already, that are signature matches, like a tag team match, and singles matches. So I just combined the two. I got 4 competitors, all just fantastic young talent, just real hungry, athletic, and super young guys. And I put them all together and decided that the last one chosen would be able to choose a tag team partner, which we'll find out the day of the show. And then after they wrestle that tag team match, the tag team will have to wrestle each other, and the winner of that will be the new Ultralight Championship. So there's a lot of drama. Who do you pick? Are they good for my team? And then, oh crap, I got to fight this guy, So there's a lot of drama that could happen in the match. I thought, it's never been done before. Not that I know. I feel like I've created this match. So, just by putting 2 different matches together. But man, I just thought it'd be something new, something fresh. And the fans really took to it. They really took to the idea. They're really behind all the guys. They're intrigued by it. A lot of people are saying it's the match that they're looking forward to. So I'm super proud of the result, but even before we've actually performed it. So I think it's going to be something that will be a way to, alleviate, a way to eliminate tournaments. Like I said, because unless it's a show that's just like at the end of the show that crowns like a J Cup or something like that. Mm-hmm. I'm not a big fan of tournaments. I'm just not. I feel like they're boring. I feel like you see the same thing over and over and over, the same guys. So this to me seemed like a smart way to get something done without boring the audience and actually making them kind of, really, anticipate something new and special. And I think we can keep it going. We can brand it and do it with whenever we have other conflicts that it would be this type of a match would be suited for that.
Hell yeah, man. And, I have to give you credit and props for having such a good eye for talent, man. Like
thank you.
I got to get a little story on my end is that when I moved to California from Florida, mm-hmm. I had never been to an indie show. I'd never been to a small local show. The only show I'd ever done was like a Raw, one of those WWE shows.
Sure.
And then when I moved here, I met some folks and they brought me out to PCW Ultra. That was my first live independent wrestling show.
Did we spoil you?
Dude, it blew my mind because, in my head, it was WWE. That was it. Whatever was on TV, that's what wrestling was. And then when I saw what was going on, it just blew my mind. It was like a punk show. People were standing around. There's chairs flying. It was incredible. So, I got spoiled. And you definitely spoil your fans because you look at the lineup from when I first started going to where they're at now, and a lot of them have moved on to NXT. They're in AEW. Like it's then they're doing huge things.
Yeah, for sure.
So you have this eye for talent, man. Like, what do you do? How do you keep an eye on the up and comers like that? What products are you watching? Are you going to like schools? How are you able to find these people before they establish themselves?
I wish there was an answer to that. I just. It's almost like, how do you pick ripe fruit? You know what I mean? It's like some people, like my wife will go to the store and she'll come back and she can't pick a good cantaloupe. And I just know it's just, I can't explain it. You just know, you see somebody, but you'll see them on an indie show. You'll see them. I don't really watch professional wrestling. And I know that sounds kind of weird and crazy, but I guess if you're trying to create something in the sense of art, you don't want to be influenced by anything else. And I don't want to ever copy anything else. So you'll see guys that'll come through. It's funny because PWG, which is a super indie, a lot of people will be like, oh man, PWG broke that guy. PWG did that. I feel like we're the company that puts people on blast. And then companies like PWG see them. So I feel like guys like Jake Atlas, guys like Brody King, guys like Jacob Fatu, guys like Hammerstone, on and on and on. We were the first people to bring Tessa Blanchard to the West Coast. And I think that we are this launching pad that I don't really feel like we get that respect in the pro wrestling community. And I'm okay with that. I don't need my flowers for everything. But I do think that we are that spot. I do think that we are that company that launches them to where they're, to a PWG or to an ROH or to an MLW. It's really gratifying to be able to look back and say, yeah, I remember when that guy came with his bag to my show and he just wanted to, to be on first. He would have taken any opportunity, no money, anything. But I like to think we take care of our people. I'm just hoping when somebody makes it super, super big that, they come back and, when their contract's up and we don't get charged $10,000 to book them or something like that, So we make these relationships. We don't do it, or me personally, I don't do it to get anything back for it or a pat in the back. It's gratifying just to see that this company is a launching pad for these guys. It's like, and the punk rock aspect of it, 100%. You know what I mean? I agree 100%. It's that the show has this ability to command respect when you walk in the building and you see the setup. It looks like, wow, this is just a little indie show, but it commands respect. And then there's a feeling there. I think the way we set it up and the amount of promotion we do to get the fans in the door and the way I book the card and the matches I make and everything, I think it puts everybody on their best foot. Like, it puts everybody in a position to succeed. And I think everybody can just go, wow, I'm in my own lane. There's one Warbeast, there's one Shane Strickland, there's one Rob Van Dam. I don't try to do like all Warbeast matches with all these crazy guys, 7 times in a row. I don't try to do all these high spot matches 7 times in a row. I try to give everybody their own lane so that they can just floor it, you know what I mean? And go, look at me. This is what I do. I'm serving hamburgers. The next guy's serving a pizza. The next guy's serving a hot dog. So, it just gives everybody a chance to floor it. It's like when you go to a metal show and every band sounds the same. It's like after the third band, you're like, oh God.
Yeah, one of those bands, you're gonna go get some food and a drink.
Yeah, that's another reason why I really like Clutch, is because Clutch will bring these obscure, like Amigo the Devil or the Mike Dillon band, or they'll bring these obscure bands with them that they'll compliment them. But it won't be like for the it won't have the fans just like, just bored to death, and it also doesn't have the people just dying to see Clutch only,
waiting for the band to get off stage.
Yeah, try to go to a Motorhead show, or you try to go to a Kiss show or something like that. The fans are brutal. They don't, or an Ozzy show, man. They don't want to see anybody but that guy. You could put anybody out there, but Clutch has this way of complimenting themselves with the bands and introducing you to different stuff, and I don't know. It's just that philosophy is seems to work for us. It seems to work for them. So why not?
Yeah, there's a good variety, man. Every time I've gone, it's, we have some. You'll have a comedy match, or with Kikutaro or something like that. Sure. You'll have your old school, catch wrestling, or you'll have the high spot, spot festival. It's all mixed up. So it's great.
It's like a movie. Like you can watch a drama, and in the drama there can be a chase scene, there can be a comedic moment, there can, it's just like a movie. You want all these different waves of emotions. This way, these matches stand out on their own to people. They don't forget half of it, and that's another thing I try to teach the younger guys is like during their matches, like you want to let your stuff breathe, just so these two guys that are sitting there watching it, they can talk, wow, did you see that drop kick? Just give them a second to revisit the spot. And then when they go home, they'll remember it and they'll talk about it on the way home. If you just do this and this and this and this and never give them a chance to absorb it, there's just so many different little tricks on how to put these things on the proper way. And even if people don't understand how we do it, I think they can walk away going, I don't know why it's right, but it's right. Like, and you know, I like that about our show. And there's just a lot of experience. You know, I've got almost 25 years, and then, you know, I got Kevin Sullivan with me all the time, who's got 50 years. And then we bring in guys like Ron Simmons, Terry Funk, the Great Muda, Rob Van Dam. So you're not, although I do like having young, fresh talent, I don't like having to teach people the wrestling business from the ground floor every show. So I like guys that know how to dance, and then they use my platform to grow, rather than, oh, hold on, I got to teach this guy how to lock up. I got to teach him how to do this. Our show isn't really that type of a show. You know, our show is more of a, you know, there's a master class of guys that sends a tow rope down for the younger guys. So I feel the younger guys can really benefit from our show, but I don't really like to use guys that are too young, because I think that they might not benefit. They'd almost get exposed, and they might drop down a couple pegs. So there's a real even balance of how I do things and why I do things, and what I feel the talent would get out of my show. So there's value beyond just me paying them to be there, to appear, you know, and wrestle.
Absolutely. And like you mentioned, yeah, if you're too green, and the crowd that goes to PCW, they're not smarks, but they are smart, and they are, you know, they know what's going on. So if you're too green, they'll call you out on it.
Yeah.
You know, they don't give a fuck.
They're loyal, and they know that they're coming to see a high quality product, like from the beer to the food to the AC in the building. That's an anomaly in independent.
Oh man. That's such a nice treat that I found out.
So I really like to over deliver to the fans. I want the fans to have space. I want the fans to have AC. I want them to have good beer. I want them to have gourmet, like our tacos that Mexican guy that wrestled. We're not calling him that Mexican guy. That's his name. that Mexican guy's tacos are, dude, his food is incredible. So having that gourmet food is just another extra. Like, you could just come and camp out. You don't have to leave. You don't have to eat before you come. Everything's there. The experience for you is just soup to nuts, man. Full top to bottom. And you can just go and hang out with us all night long, meet and greets. You can meet your legends, get your photos, get your stuff signed. You know, it's just top to bottom. You just spend the night with us, and we'll take care of you.
and that is true, man. That's not just him, you know, selling himself. Like, I'm a fan because of it. Like, because of such the experience that I had the first time I went, like, it just drew me in. I'm like, I'm coming to every single one of these. This is a fun time for everything. And not only that, you know, I've had some crazy experiences going to these shows that it's not an experience that every fan gets to have, but I've, you know, like, I hung out with Sandman, who was like me growing up. I couldn't believe it, you know, and it was very just one-on-one, like, hey, Sandman, holy shit, you know, nice to meet you. And then from there, we just went to the hotel and got drunk with Zack Sabre Jr. Like, it's that kind of stuff can happen if you're not like a super punishy kind of person, you know, but dude, some of the best experiences. Also, you know, like you were saying that you launch a lot of careers, like even careers that are already established, you introduced them to me. Like, I found out about Penta and the Lucha Brothers through PCW, not through Lucha Underground and you know, everything else. I found out through you, and it's great, man. And I think you guys are killing it. I'm really excited to see you back into it. I see the main event is Hammerstone and my boy Chris Dickinson. So shout out to him. He's been on the show. I'm glad to see him being a part of it as well. So moving on from PCW Ultra, what's going on in the world of MLW with you?
Well, you know, so I work in MLW on screen and off. So, we're just getting ready to gear back up, go to Philly. We're going to be at the 2300 Arena on October the 2nd for Fightland. Big main event. The most anticipated fight in the history of MLW is going to be Jacob Fatu against Alex Hammerstone, both PCW originals. Along with myself and Jacob Fatu's corner, PCW original. So MLW and PCW have a really great relationship. that has blossomed over the years and is getting tighter and tighter and tighter. So I think it will be, wouldn't be crazy to see MLW in that building with us. It wouldn't be crazy to see double headers. It wouldn't be crazy to see TV tapings in there and this and that. And, you know, don't quote me. I'm not making an announcement or anything like that.
Right.
These are things that, are things that could very well happen. They're not dreams, you know, they're things that are will come to fruition, I'm sure. And, yeah, man, we just are out there. It's like-minded people, you know, as far as not trying to change the formulas that were built by the architects of this business. So, you know, we're adhering to this old school philosophy and these old school formulas, but we're putting a new age, new school spin on these things. So they are, you know, fresh, and they are fast paced, and they are incredibly athletic, and they are very compelling story wise. So yeah, it's just, things are, you would almost look at PCW as a sister promotion for MLW, but moving forward with MLW, we're going to be on Vice TV for the Fightland, which is huge.
That's huge, man.
Yeah, it's huge, and coming in double barrel, you know, both guns blazing with Hammerstone and Fatu is going to be incredible. We also got Bobby Fish, we got Alex Shelley, oh wow, Davey Richards, TJP. I mean, there's it's stacked. You know, Tajiri, you know, Myron Reed. It's going to be out of control. You know, it's just like a PCW show, man, just over delivering to the fans. And I think that is kind of what's missing with a lot of the independent companies. And I'm not throwing stones at anybody, and I'm not saying, you know, anybody's lesser than, but what I am saying is I think people get really stuck on the wrestlers we're going to have, you know, and the show we're going to put on. It's all about that, where you really have to also, I think, even put above that. Yeah, that is huge. That's important. That's the flame that you're trying to draw the moths to. That's the draw, right? But I think above that is the fan experience. And I think you really have to put the fan experience above everything, because if your fans don't feel like you've over delivered to them in every single way, they're not going to be loyal to you. And that's what you're trying to build. You're trying to build a loyal fan base of people that are stoked to come to your show, people that are stoked to tell people about your brand, and people that, you know, you see every show, and you grow up with some of the young ones, and you see some of the old ones, and people pass away, and you're there with their families, and just all these experiences that make you into this family, albeit, you know, not this tight-knit family that you see every day, but you see these people and you interact with these people, and just having them know that you have their best interest, that you're not just trying to turn them over and empty their pockets. You know, you're right. Actually trying to create something that's more than just a transaction. You know, it's more than that. So MLW and PCW both have that same mindset, and we both like to over deliver to our fan base. And I think that's why, you know, both companies are successful, and they're talked about, you know, in the wrestling world.
Hell yeah, man. And it's super important right now. We're in a time where I think wrestling is as hot as it's ever been in terms of popularity. Sure. And there's a lot of brands out there. You know, you got the Ring of Honors and the Impact, and the, you know, New Japan is getting in the picture here in the U.S. So having that experience, like you said, to draw them in is important, because if they go to your show and they have a bad time, guess what? There's 6 other shows.
Oh yeah, they can go anywhere else. Exactly. And you said it yourself. I mean, that's how you have to think. You know, you have to think that, you know, they got to be stoked to come to your party. You know what I mean? And that's that. And we like to think that our fans are stoked to come to our party, and we don't want to change that, and we're not going to change that anytime soon.
Yeah. Yeah. Now you're a little, you know, in the old school category in terms of mentality. You know, you're NWA champ. You know, you've been through it. What are your thoughts on, you know, talking about what's going on with wrestling right now? What are your thoughts on the whole everybody kind of working together, like what AEW is doing, where they're bringing in Impact and all that. Like, is that good for business, or are you more in the mentality of like, let's keep things, separate how they've always been?
Well, I adapt. So, it's almost like, what are your ingredients every day? What ingredients do you have to work with today? So the short answer is I agree with it. Working together. I think working together it makes us all stronger, rises all tides, right? Or something like that.
The rising tide lifts all ships, or something like that.
Something like that. Steel sharpens steel. Let's go with that.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go.
So yeah, man, I'm all for it. Providing that everybody, all business is up front and everybody understands. I think as humans, I think we don't take into account that we are influenced by the world that we're living in. And it's hard for us to step into somebody else's brain and understand what their motivation is. So communication is the best thing. Is like, you have to show somebody, you have to provide value to somebody else. So, of course these relationships can't be all give. They have to be give and take. And if it doesn't make sense, it can't work, so providing that these alliances, these strategic alliances are good for both parties, I'm all for it, all day long. If it makes sense. I see a lot of people just, because they can, they do. And a lot of times it falls on its face. But that's not, for me to really worry about or talk about, but I think I've said it already, without beating a dead horse, if it works and it makes sense, I'm all for it. If it doesn't mean I don't like you, doesn't mean I don't want to work with you. It just,
It didn't work out.
If I got a picnic and I've got, potato salad and you're coming to bring potato salad, I've already got it. You know what I mean? If you can think of something else, then that's cool. But I'm open to working with people, providing it helps everybody. I never want anybody to walk away from me and feel like, oh man, he got one over on me. You know what I mean? Good business is simple. I come and they come, we shake hands. And if we both walk away happy, we're both going to come back and do it again. Right. And if one of us walks away angry, we're not going to do it again. And that's unfortunate. So you want to make sure it's all good.
Yeah, man. And, I asked the question knowing the answer because going back to the people, you guys not getting enough credit for what you're doing, even though you're not looking for that credit. Mm-hmm. You were, before all this shit went down, you had Wrestle Summit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Where you brought in Defy and you brought in, different brands to work with you.
Yeah. Sometimes that stuff bites you, sometimes you bring people in and then they take advantage of your kindness, but that's not on you. You know what I mean? And other times it works out in spades, and you have relationships with people for years to come. And in this business, there's so many ways, just like music, just like any entertainment business, there's so many ways to lose money. Mm-hmm. And if you're both doing the same thing, combining forces and putting resources together, if you can help save each other money, that's such a great thing. Even if it's something as dumb as printing, just anything, so it's really cool to work with people in any capacity because, if it makes sense, it saves people money and it's good all around. And it gets guys more work, which is great. It's just sometimes people abort mission and they have evil intentions and you're like, oh, well, that's unfortunate, but that's human nature, right? But you can't cry over that stuff. It happens.
Yeah. I mean, it makes you tougher moving forward, It makes you realize, keep your eyes open and sharp. Sure. Now, I know you're worried, your concern right now is MLW and this upcoming PCW Ultra show, but is that something that, is in the horizon, doing another summit like that, considering, the time we're in, to do another unification of different brands for a show?
Actually, I'm in the process of planning the next one. So, and in this business, you always want to top the last one, you know what I mean? So I'm trying to make this as grand as possible. I'm looking at the spring of next year.
Nice.
So it gives me some time to really. That's another thing is we're not trying to run shows every 3 or 4 weeks. You know what I mean? I'm older. I'm wiser. I'm trying to pick and choose my spots. I'd rather put on something that the fans are going to be in love with instead of just putting a bunch of, just trying to stay active. You know what I mean? Yeah. These shows are a real pain to put together. It's like planning a wedding, you know what I mean? And doing it monthly, it's really hard, especially with somebody like me who's working with so many different things. I'm almost like I talk to Conan a lot, and Conan's everywhere, and he's somebody that I really look up to. I'm almost like the mini Conan, where I've got my hand in a lot of different things that a lot of people don't know about, but I've got my hand in a lot of different things. So these shows are very difficult to put on if I had nothing going, you know what I mean? So because I am with other companies and I do other things inside of wrestling and outside of wrestling, it's really difficult. So I want to put on the best thing, but Wrestle Summit will return. I branded that show and I really was happy with it. We took it to the Pacific Northwest for 2 shows, and those were really successful as well. So this will be my third one rather. Oh no, my fourth one. And I'm looking to bring in some partners that people are going to go, what? This is crazy, So I'm looking to really turn some heads on this next one.
Nice, man. Nice. And, I applaud you because I know how hard it is to put a show together, let alone the type of show that you're doing. Especially with like a Wrestle Summit where you're working with so many different, I don't want to call it egos, but just.
You can
heads, different egos, not just of the talent, but of the brands that are coming in.
Absolutely, so. And then throw COVID on top of it.
Yeah, COVID regulations, and flights and bullshit.
This was hard before all this happened, and then to throw. I don't know why I'm doing this to myself. You might talk me out of it, But I'm also contemplating a large scale music and wrestling festival. It's going to be on the East Coast to start, but super beginning stages of that. But like I said, in this business, you've always got to be planning, and you've always got to be, one step ahead, and you've always got to be thinking about next year and the year after and all that, because before you know it, it comes. So, you have to, these shows take a tremendous amount of planning, and for some reason I keep going bigger. I might have to consult a therapist or something about this, but
no, it's just when you see a taste of success in what you're doing, you obviously want to keep it going and growing.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. And I feel alive when I'm putting these things together, and especially when it's before I've spoken to anybody. Once all the people get involved, it starts to get crazy.
Right.
Before all the people, that's my favorite part. It's like the calm before the storm of, oh, wow, this is becoming something. Oh, the artwork's going to be like this. Oh, I'm going to title it like this. Oh, these matches could be this way, or this is a sort of theme. That stage, those beginning stages is my favorite part of it. I guess it's almost like the making the baby before, making the baby's the great part, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's when the baby comes, it's like, oh, there's where all the headaches come, right?
No more sleep.
Yes. So the part of putting it together is my favorite. The thinking about it, the creating it almost. Sometimes I should just probably make a journal or something and just create these fantasy shows. Maybe that'll be, and I don't ever have to put them out to the public.
Yeah, just put it out as a book and people can read about the idea of what it could have been.
Yeah, exactly. It saved me all the trouble, and it'd be like cooking, where it's just eases my mind, and it brings me joy and no discomfort and no problems.
Well, brother, I got to tell you, it was a dream of mine to do something like what you're talking about, put together a large scale festival style show with music and wrestling. So I think you and I should sit down and talk, because I think if you know the name of the show, if you know this show you're on right now, that I know some musicians.
Yeah.
And I think that I can help. So
Well,
let's talk about that later.
Yeah, I'm totally open for that. I love working with people that I respect and that I trust and that I have a relationship with. So that's kind of a no-brainer for me. So yeah, man, absolutely.
Yeah. So now that we're on the topic of music, and let's talk a little bit about music. So when did your fandom begin with Clutch? Like, I know you know the guys personally too. So when did that all start for you?
Oh, a few funny stories, maybe to me. So I grew up in Florida, and I have an older brother, and he had older friends, and I remember I was like 8 or something like that. My brother was 12, and his friends were maybe 14, and I remember walking around the neighborhood with a little ghetto blaster and playing Metallica Kill 'Em All when it first came out. I remember my aunt getting me Ozzy Diary of a Madman for my 9th birthday per my request. Nice. So I've always been into metal. I saw Kiss, not live, but the band when I was a little kid, and it was everything, the pro wrestling aspect, the showbiz of it, the spectacle. Later on, I'm not a big Kiss fan at all, but I saw them in concert a few times. Anyway, so I was into metal early. Metal, rock and roll, punk rock, anything, anything extreme.
Anything with a guitar plugged into an amp.
Yeah, right. So all that stuff. And I used to go to the record store every single week, if not every other day, to be honest. If anything in that record store was different, I knew, because I would look at those cassette tapes every day. And one day I visited the Music Box in Lake Worth, Florida, which I'm sure it's not there anymore. And I used to go to Peaches Records and Tapes all the time. But the Music Box, and I'm looking at the metal section, which was about this big, and there was this tape, and it was Clutch Passive Restraints. It was 1992. And wow. It was $4.99, and I thought, whatever, I'll just try it out. I brought that cassette home. That week, I must have listened to that tape 400 times. I played it to all my friends. I was hooked. Then Beavis and Butthead played a Shogun named Marcus. And I was like, that's the band. Holy crap, and I saw them. So I was up on them super early, maybe a year after they started. I think they started in 91. And then a buddy of mine was going to college in Gainesville, and he worked at a place called The Covered Dish. And he said, hey, don't you like this band Clutch? And I'm like, yeah. He goes, well, they're playing at my bar, The Covered Dish. And I go, oh, okay. He was a bouncer there. So I go there, and they were opening up for Prong. And it was the Transnational Speedway League tour with Prong. I can't remember, maybe Cleansing for Prong, and a band called Drown. And the manager for Drown is now the manager for Clutch. Well, anyway, I was on stage singing with Neil, and I'm going nuts, and I was working security that night. I got fired. My friend got fired for bringing me. And so I just been a freak ever since. And then one day, my wife's a flight attendant, and one day she had this guy on her flight, and it was Al, who's the guitar tech. And as she's leaving, and she's a huge Clutch fan too. And as she's leaving, she sees his jacket, and she's like, dude, Clutch. She's like, if I would have known, I would have hooked you up. And he's like, oh, I work with the band. And she was like, holy crap. So we saw them, and Al was super cool, came out, said hi, shook hands, and this and that. And I used to always message Eddie Trunk. And I'd always say, that metal show, you guys are not that metal show. You don't got Clutch on there. And I would just troll him and troll him and troll him. Well, he ends up getting Clutch on that metal show. My wife's a flight attendant. Neil Fallon's on her flight. Wow. It's late at night. There's all these kids screaming and yelling. My wife relocated Neil and said, hey, sir, I believe your seat's over here. Didn't fan out from him, didn't say nothing, just moved him so he can get some rest. And then when he was leaving, she just left him a note and blah, blah, blah with her email, said she's a flight attendant. If they ever need anything, whatever, yada, yada, yada. And Neil was the kindest guy, messaged her. I was doing work with Billy Corgan on the Smashing Pumpkins, and then they were headlining a festival in Ohio, and Clutch was on the festival. We said, hey, can we go to the festival? He's like, yeah. We had all access passes. We go there. I go into the pit. Oscar, who's this is a long story, I'm sorry, but Oscar, who is the manager, almost gets into a fight with me, starts screaming and yelling. I back off. We go in the back. He's in catering. He sees me walk out of the headliner room, and he goes, "Who the hell are you?" And I go, "I'm the Sheik." And then after that, we became fast friends. And then it turned into, where we go to all the shows. Then we started hitting we saw them in Switzerland, in Amsterdam, and all over Europe, 4 times in Ireland. And then we never left. And then they just, they welcomed us to everything. Saw them in Red Rocks a bunch of times. We started going to all the Clutch Earth Rocker fests, and we were backstage invited to everything. And they just brought us in like family and just treated us so great. And they're the best guys in the world and our favorite band. And super long story, sorry, but
yeah, it's great.
Yeah, so we met The Sword through them. We met all these other bands through them, Corrosion, I Hate God, and yeah, man, just a bunch of badass, like-minded people that are good people, man, and that's what we like, people with morals, people with creativity, people that don't compromise, people that aren't fake, people that do what they love, and they do it, at a high level, and just mutual respect and love and admiration. And man, I mean, even my great friend Daphne passed away. And, I asked Neil, I said, could we make a tribute video and use a Clutch song? And Neil's like, of course, no problem. So like just stuff like that, man, just cool people, just real cool people. And the greatest band on God's green earth, let's be honest. So,
That's awesome, man. That was a great story. I mean, I'm glad to hear that it went down that way. A lot of people don't understand that, just showing support for somebody that you enjoy can lead to stuff like that happening.
Yeah. And we're just, genuinely so in love with the band. Like they're just, as far as music goes, like all day, every day, man. We listen to Clutch every day around here.
So, that explains why you have such a vast collection of everything that they've done. But when did you decide that you wanted to get everything? Because I'm a collector too. I have, you can see I have crap everywhere. Yeah. So, but there is that moment in time when you're like, I have to get every little piece. The day I bought Passive Restraints, I never stopped buying everything. Every time something came out, it was a big deal to me. You know what I mean? I don't have I don't have every one of their t-shirts. I'm not like a freak. I have every record, everything on vinyl, every special pressing, the original 7 inches, everything, all the cassette tapes. I have the Japanese releases. I have special edition posters, all the special edition t-shirts, all the, there's like an axe, right? I saw you have an axe.
Oh yeah, I got that. I got the axe back there. Yeah, man. I got the big Clutch sign in front of me that you can't see. I got everything, man. And,
nice.
And, like I said, Ozzy was my first. Like, I love Ozzy, and Alicia Warrington, who happened to be, she's with Next now, and she's another person that was launched from PCW Ultra. She used to play drums for Kelly Osbourne. So Alicia got me, she's like, "Hey, what are you doing next Friday?" And I'm like, "Nothing." She goes, "You, me, and Ozzy." And I'm like, "What?" She's like, "You, me, and Ozzy." And I'm like, "Yeah, let's do it." So she took me to Ozfest, and and I've seen Ozzy 100 times in concert, but I got to meet Ozzy, and I got to sit on the side of the stage. Basically, they kicked everybody out there, and Kelly Osbourne goes, "Those are my friends, they're okay." And I got to watch Ozzy from 2 feet away. And
that's awesome.
Insane. And that's from PCW, so, but next to Ozzy, Ozzy is just Black Sabbath. Come on, man. It's just everything. And the 2 Randy Rhoads records are, for my money, the greatest heavy metal albums of all time. I don't care what anybody says, they're wrong. But Clutch is the only thing that's ever compared in my eyes. Different, 100% different. But the only thing, and I'm not a freak fan for anything, Ozzy is like a god to me, and Clutch is just the homies, man, and the greatest band in the world.
I got a funny story of Ozzy, and I'm going to preface this with, please bear with me, because I go to a lot of shows and I talk to a lot of people, and I smoke a lot of weed.
Yeah,
so I don't remember exactly who. Yeah, I don't remember exactly who told me this story, so apologies to who told me this story. But they were at Ozfest performing. Mm-hmm. So I think it's Mastodon, one of the Mastodon dudes.
Oh, okay, yeah,
told me this story.
Dudes too. Yeah, I spent time with them on the Clutch tours. Yeah, not like I know them or nothing, but they were around. Drinking beer together.
Yeah, now, I've spent a lot of time with them, and I guarantee you, it's not. We're not close friends.
Super talented guys.
Yeah,
saw them at Red Rocks. Crazy show.
Yeah, dude. So they, I remember I think it was one of them told me this, but basically they were standing there side stage, waiting for Ozzy to go on stage. Mm-hmm. And I remember that he said that Ozzy walked up and it was like, "Is there anybody out there?"
Yes, I've heard that story. Yes.
And they're like, "What do you mean?" They're like, "Yeah, this is your show." He's like, "Yeah, I just don't know if the people care." And I'm like, "What are you talking about?"
What?
So that's great to hear that he still has, like, it's not a joke. It's not him being a douche, like, is anybody there? Because obviously they're there. No, it's more like he still has anxiety that, like, people are not going to be at his show.
Yeah.
It's nuts. It's nuts to me.
I took a photograph. I was on, like, my absolute best behavior at Ozzy because, like, it's Ozzy. And I didn't want to be somebody that was taken there and got anyone in trouble. You know how it is.
Yeah.
But I snapped a little photograph of the set list. I didn't want to take it off the wall. I didn't want to do anything, but dude, that set list was just, oh my God. It was just so insane. And just to see Ozzy, I mean, I've seen Ozzy through, I was too young to see him for Bark at the Moon, but I saw him from Ultimate Sin on.
Nice.
And just, Ozzy's the man. Come on, man. Ozzy's it, man.
Yeah. Absolutely, man. So talking about that a little bit, have you ever punished someone that you afterwards you're like, God, I fucked up. I fanboyed too hard, Like, is there anything like that ever happened to you?
I'm sure I have, because I am very talkative and I'm very passionate, and but I try to be cool, man. I try to not not murder them with I'm not like, hey, you did that. Oh my God, I saw that. I don't try to do that, but I do enjoy. I guess the last thing somebody that puts stuff out, the last thing they want to do is talk about it or stuff like that. So I just try to be cool and not do that. Like I've got to hang out with Chuck D before. Nice. That was insane, and just act like you've been there, right? Just try not to punish them. But man, I guess that would be for them to decide. I don't think I have, I really hope I haven't. I'd hate to be looked at as that guy. Oh God, here comes this guy again.
Yeah.
But I feel like I'm always invited back. So maybe I do act okay. I always hear from guys, like, especially guys in Clutch, like when they're touring, we'll be touring with them, but we go to, like, sites and we do things like we'll skip one of their shows and then go somewhere, and then we'll meet them. We'll be like, oh yeah, we're going to see you guys in Switzerland, or, oh, we're going to be like that. So I feel like they kind of get a kick out of us. They're like, hey, what'd you guys do now? Like, they're like, oh, you guys do it right. So I think we're kind of like, an interesting part of their tour sometimes, where they're like, well, what did you do? Or we'll ask them, hey, we're going to be here. You guys have been there a bunch. Like, what's what there? And they'll give us the deal of what to stay away from, or where to go and this and that. We're not real touristy people. So we're not like, well, I mean, to an extent we'll see like certain things, but we're not like hitting all the Wally worlds and all that stuff. So I think we, we're doing something that is, we're not punishing them. I think that's the answer. I don't think we're punishing them.
That's good. That's good.
Leave that.
I try my best, man. I like you. I'm very passionate too. So sometimes I can feel it happening, and I just pull back, like, chill out. I don't need a picture with them. I'm having a time with them right now, but just enjoy it, because that's the big issue with a lot of fans, that, like, they don't know how to stop themselves. Like, I need a picture with you. It's like, no, you don't. Just enjoy the moment.
Give me something. Give me something from you. It's that.
Yeah.
I've probably seen Clutch, I mean, let's just say I saw him 20 plus times on the Earth Rocker tour. So I've seen him quite a few times. And I think I have 2 pictures with Neil. So yeah, like with the boys or whatever. And one of them was like an end of tour picture, and one of them was a Earth Rocker fest behind, just drinking beers together. And so there wasn't like, come on, man, it's like, I get it. Yeah. I know what you're saying. It's rough. And as a fan, you want some sort of a memento to remember it or to brag about or to post or something. But yeah, you got to play it cool, man. You got to take that experience and live with it, and know that you can be invited back. That picture's not worth getting kicked out or not getting invited back for,
Exactly, man. Absolutely. Well, hey, brother, we're almost at an hour, so let's wrap it up. But tell me, so PCW Ultra returns October 22nd. Where can people get tickets?
So people can get tickets at PCWUltra.com. It's going to be a big show. Front row sold out. Row 2 sold out. We just added some more GA+. GA+ gets you into the meet and greet. Row 1 and 2 get you into the meet and greet. We've got we still have some GA tickets, but the tickets are going low. So this show's definitely going to sell out. It's charted to sell out. And then we also have on sale right now Anniversary. And Anniversary is January the 28th. And we have already announced the bad man from Borger, Texas, Stan Hansen. So that's the legend upon legends, right? The man, Stan Hansen. And we got Alex Shelley's going to be debuting for PCW Ultra, and we're really super excited about that. And if you can see, if you understand that the first 2 announcements have been Alex Shelley and Stan Hansen, and we're months away, you know that there's more coming. So we got a lot of really, really sick announcements, and the matches for Anniversary are just, man, you don't want to miss it. But you definitely do not want to miss October 22nd. All systems go. Support PCW Ultra. There's a bunch of great people doing great things there, and we count on your support. We're going to over-deliver to you, and help us out. Come see the show. Enjoy yourself. Bring a friend. Tell a friend, and we'll be able to live to fight another day.
Hell yeah, man. That's how I got there. I got invited by a friend, and after that, I just kept bringing everybody I could. I know I was hitting you up like, hey, I got these people who want to see the show. Yeah,
man. Hell yeah. Bring them out.
Yeah, man. So people go PCWUltra.com. Also for MLW, for those that are not in California, what's the next big one?
The next big one is it's going to be October the 2nd at the ECW Arena in Philadelphia, the famous 2300 Arena. I'm not sure. Tickets might be sold out for that event. But we are going to be on Vice TV. So if you're in the area, check for tickets, MLW.com. Absolutely. If you can't get tickets to that show, then we will be on Vice. And we're going to premiere Fightland on Vice. And also the Opera Cup is going to be coming after that. And that's the who's who of wrestling will be on that as well.
Is Vice TV like a paid subscription thing, or is that something you just go online and watch?
I believe Vice TV is with cable packages, and I think you can get it with Hulu, and it's pretty available. People, and the lead into that is the scandalous Dark Side of the Ring, which woo, yeah. So I think that in the beginning was a good thing. Not sure it's a great thing now, but anyway.
I was gonna say, I watched one of the recent episodes. I'm like, if you guys keep going with this, no one's gonna want to work with you.
Yeah, right. I don't want to be on that show, So, and I don't want to be a subject on that show. That's
absolutely not.
Yeah, if you're still alive, you're going to be. I don't know, but yeah, that's a brutal thing. I don't want to be a part of that. Keep me away.
Yeah, man, absolutely. And so for everyone watching and listening as well, follow Joseph's page. You got Joseph at Josef Samael on Instagram. Is that everywhere across the board? Twitter, all that stuff? Yeah,
so it's Joseph, Josef, Samael, SAMAEL.com. All my socials are linked to there, but I'm at Josef Samael across the board. And then, of course, PCWUltra.com. We're at PCW Ultra across the board because we're smart like that. We try to keep it simple for the fans. So yeah, man, PCW Ultra and Josef Samael, man, look us up and follow, share, like, subscribe, whatever you do. Hit the button, all that good stuff.
And are you selling records on that, Josef Samael?
No, I've got a record store, and it's at warofsound.com. And
War of Sound.
warofsound.com. And if you, I'm not like everybody else to where if you message me and you say, hey, I want to buy a few records, I'll make a deal for you. I'll bundle deal it. You know, I might give you a price that isn't advertised. So just trying to have good karma, be cool, get people where they need to go, and deliver to people that are like-minded and, similar to us.
Hell yeah, man. Well, dude, I appreciate you coming on the show, talking for an hour. I'm looking forward to the show, PCW, a lot. I will be there. And, thanks again, man. I'm honored to have you on. You're a legend in the sport, and you're a great dude ever since the day I met you. So
thank you very much. I always appreciate the platform, and I'm going to see you at that show, and just let me know. Hit me up on Facebook, and man, we'll get it done.
All right, brother. Well, hey, take care. Cheers. And everyone listening, make sure to follow Josef.